three main takeaways. Jordan Shusterman, what's your first one?
Yeah, I mean, the first one is what I just mentioned before. It's 0 for 19 from the top five is pretty. And by the way, Minaya, certainly over those first few innings, was very good. But I would say he was not, especially command-wise, not nearly as sharp as what we saw against the Phillies. And I think that's reflected in the fact that the Dodgers did draw 8 walks, right? I mean, there was traffic, but they couldn't get the big hit. They had a couple of very untimely double plays, and or I guess just the one, the Kike one in the 6th. But yeah, I mean, that's just you just don't see the 0 for 19 from those 5 hitters very often, but that's possible in any individual game, and that's really why they lost.
And then the second main takeaway for me is the Dodgers just have a starting pitching disadvantage. We previewed this when we talked about the series, but they're gonna probably have to do this again. They're going to have to do the bullpen day again. Now they can go about it in a slightly different way. Mm-hmm. But if this series goes 6 games, which it kind of smells like it's going to, at least 6 games, they're going to have to throw someone they don't really want to throw.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, I fall somewhere in between just because we saw it work flawlessly against the Padres. So the true talent of the bullpen game, even though it's so volatile because of how many guys you're relying on, is probably better than what we saw because of the personnel that they ended up deploying, right? We didn't actually see any of the Dodgers quote unquote best relievers. I guess Brazier would be in that mix, but we didn't see Phillips, we didn't see Trinan, we didn't see Kopech, right? We didn't see Hudson. And so that seemed to be mostly intentional, and that's why it was valuable for our friend Brent to keep them in the game. But yeah, so what you're saying is totally fair. But I also think that like the best version of the Dodgers bullpen game is a lot better than this because we know they have better relievers.
But it's not better than Sean Manaea, which is what they will be going up against if they bullpen game again. My last takeaway, here's a leading question. Bases loaded in a big spot in these playoffs. How many dudes would you rather have up than Mark freaking Vientos?
I mean, is Landon Knack pitching still? Because then I'll take Vientos for sure. But, I mean, I don't know. I know the reason you're asking is that Vientos had a huge CS or a huge DS, right? He has already had multiple huge moments in this postseason, and he has looked locked in. He's also 4 with 3 strikeouts in the first game. I don't know. He's very good. We've talked about him. The fact that he has elevated his game to be obviously the Mets. Like to be the Mets' number 2 hitter, not second best hitter, although arguably he is that too right now, is incredible. Huge credit to him. I still think that there's pitches you can make to get him out, but you could say that about most of these guys. So I'd rather have Juan Soto up with the bases loaded if that's what you're asking me. Yes.
Yes, I also would too. If you're going off of top OPS so far this postseason, which obviously small sample size, like Mike Harris is first because he played in 2 games. Obviously, that doesn't count. But it's really like Tatis,
remember
Bryce,
him?
remember Fernando, Tatis, Bryce, Stanton, frickin' Brian Rocchio, who we'll get to. All right, and then Vientos, and then of course the home run Stroka.
Oh, I miss him too. Sorry, Padres.